Welcome to the You Attract webinar. I'm Bob Doyle, and I'll be your host for what's going to be a unique educational and experiential journey into the law of attraction. Now, regardless of where you currently are in this law of attraction conversation, I invite you to stick around for at least the first part of this seminar, where we're going to explain the law of attraction in a way you've probably never heard before, and in a way that might make a lot more sense to you if you're skeptical about it, which, by the way, I totally understand. I was a person who wanted to believe in all of this create your reality stuff with all of my heart, but what I was reading in New Age books just wasn't giving me results. Because although on some level I could get what these books were saying, I needed a layer of science in there somewhere. And once I got that and the lights went on for me, it's been my passion to share this information with the world however I can. We started doing that with our Wealth Beyond Reason program, which many on this webinar are already a part of, and then we continued that work through, of course, The Secret and many other educational programs that we've created over the years. This webinar is truly a culmination of all that I've learned and experienced during those years. And if you listen carefully, really take in what I'm saying, and you put it into action by first actually participating with the final exercise, the You Attract meditation, you'll actually start to experience some real tangible results today. So please be ready to participate along with the various exercises that will be presented that will lead up to the You Attract meditation. Now, this means you'll need to be able to sit or lie down comfortably, but still be able to see the computer screen. I also definitely want you to have something to write with and on. There will be points when I want you to write something down, and I really want you to write it down then and not try to remember to do it later. And even if you do remember, odds are not good that you actually would sit down and do the exercises. So I'm asking you to participate fully in this, because anything I've said or will say about the power of this webinar will only be understood when you participate. Now, be clear that this is an educational webinar and not a show. We're obviously trying to make it more visually interesting than the average webinar, but it's the information that we're here to communicate. So I hope you're ready to actively learn stuff and not just passively watch. So what are we doing on this webinar? Well, first, I want to make the law of attraction more real for you in your life, regardless of what level it may be already. You may believe you understand it, but haven't gotten results. Well, today is about results. And to do that, we're doing a few things. You will leave different than when you started, because tonight, you're not just going to talk about how everything is energy. We're going to start actively playing with this energy. I want to start the webinar with my most recent explanation of the law of attraction. There's kind of a whole new layer I've put on it to help you see the big picture reality of what we're talking about here. Then we're going to talk about resistance, because without knowing how to recognize and eliminate resistance, our work with the law of attraction is going to be unpredictable at best. Then we're going to help you create a vision, something inspiring that you truly want your life to be. Then we're going to start the attraction process for that vision. Literally start it right here using the You Attract meditation as I guide you. And the momentum that you get here on this webinar should propel you quickly towards the realization of that vision, provided you make what you learn here in this webinar a habit. Now, I could go right into the You Attract meditation, but without the educational foundation I'm going to give you tonight, it's likely to be no more effective than any other meditation you've tried. When you properly lay the groundwork, you immediately see exactly why and how the You Attract meditation will work. And so any resistance around that wondering will be gone. You won't just be doing a process because we said, hey, this works, try it. You'll know as we go through it exactly why we're doing each step. And you'll be able to experience the meditation on a whole new and way more productive level. The first thing I'd really like you to incorporate into this collection of things you know is that I believe we were designed as reality creation machines. Among the many gifts we have as a human being, we've been gifted with imagination, desire, and emotion, along with our ability to experience things in the physical. This means we inherently have things we want. The imagination to create a vision of it, and emotion to create the energetic magnet, if you will, to this desire. And then the physical body, so that we can get into inspired action as our intuition guides us. So let's try to explain all that by first taking a giant step back so we can get a much wider view of the universe than just our little speck in it. So just look at the sheer perfection of the universe. The creative intelligence behind everything that exists is incomprehensible, though we continue to learn more and more about how this universe works at what we call a quantum level. At this level, we're studying the behavior of what actually makes up the universe and everything in it, and that's energy. Think of the countless systems that run perfectly in nature. Astronomical systems like solar systems and galaxies, ecosystems that bring life to this and probably many other planets, and our weather systems, all created from and following the laws put into place around energy. We take it for granted, but there are a whole lot of miracles going on around us. What's going on at an energetic level that allows us to experience life as a human is so complex, I doubt the human brain is meant to ever conceive it. There's this amazing design behind all of this, and I don't believe that there are accidental features. So our abilities to dream, imagine, and feel emotion are not accidental. We don't have desires that we can't achieve as some kind of cosmic joke. Our desires are literally calling us out to have them fulfilled. It's why we enjoy thinking about them. It's why it feels good. The amazing thing is we just have to keep feeling good about those things and listen to what the universe gives us in terms of action to take that action, and the vision will be realized. But not too many people seem to know how to listen and take action. We know how to put out what we want. We've learned about vision boards and have a whole set of techniques to activate the attraction process. But what most people don't know is how to recognize their intuition and act on it. I really want to make a point that in a universe as perfectly designed as this one, human beings are not going to have what I keep referring to as accidental features that serve no purpose. Everything in the universe serves a purpose, even if we can't figure out what it is. Like flies, for example. It makes no sense to me, but there's clearly a reason they exist. Somehow they're a part of the equation that is the universe. So it would make no sense for a creation as obviously miraculous as a human being to be built to have a sense of passion for something without a built-in way to realize it. What I'm saying is that this whole manifesting thing, it's our natural state. It's just as available to us as it always was. But human beings are filled with all levels of resistance because for various reasons along the line we were taught more about our limitations than infinite possibility. And those limitations have become our reality, something we need to unlearn. But we're only going to unlearn these things by taking action that is inconsistent with the belief in limitation. We have to stop reading about the law of attraction or trying the law of attraction, but instead recognize that the law of attraction is working in every aspect of our lives, every moment of our lives, that it's not some kind of personal development tool, but so much bigger than that. And then learn to live in harmony with it rather than it allowing it to work against us. When I refer to the law of attraction, I mean something way bigger than just a way for us to get stuff. The creative intelligence behind this universe created certain rules about how energy behaves. And when you break it down, an atom may seem like an atom, but there is information encoded into each particle, something a microscope can't see no matter how powerful. And that information more or less tells that particle about any number of an infinite roles it can play in this universe. Now this part can seem kind of deep, and it's as deep as we'll go into terms of mind-bending concepts, but it's crucial to understand what I mean by information. Because this is something that very few people are talking about, and I'm not sure if anyone else teaching the law of attraction is going to this depth. A lot of it is highly conceptual, and I want to be clear that I'm not a physicist. But what I want you to do is listen to the concepts, so see how it feels to you, and then do with it what you want. But I really think that it will help you to reach another level of understanding with regards to the law of attraction and how it works. So there's a subatomic particle, and it's got this information around it, whatever it is. Think of this information as kind of a fingerprint. Though it may not be unique in the universe, this information is something like the particle's identity. Given the information, there are certain other particles it can resonate with based on their information. So the subatomic particle contains information that says it will resonate with other particles that have information around, let's say, water. Okay, these particles resonate from what might be nearly infinitely remote points across the universe to begin the energetic process of the creation of perhaps a hydrogen atom or an oxygen to aid in the eventual formation of water. The depth and complexity of this information is mind-boggling, and I don't think it's necessary to even try to understand it. Even a simple explanation of it tends to get complicated really quick. What's most important is to know that there is some kind of information that determines how all this energy comes together to create what we experience as the universe, both physical and not physical. If you can understand the concepts that some information works well together, you can start to understand more about what resonance is and how the law of attraction is really working. So there are all these subatomic particles floating around out there, and based on the information contained in them, these particles find each other or attract because the information between them resonates in a certain way. If one particle had information that had nothing at all to do with the information in another, then resonance would not occur and there would be no attraction. So the attraction process is about resonance. And that doesn't necessarily show up as like attracts like, the very common definition of the law of attraction. The magnet example is easy to understand. The information in the molecules that make up magnets is encoded in such a way that what we call the positive pole is actually attracted to the opposite negative pole. They're not like polarities, but they do resonate in a way that the attraction process occurs. It's about the information encoded in the particle more than any specific frequency. So when we're working with the law of attraction, how most people are, trying to change their lives or to attract something specific, our job is to get into vibrational resonance with something. And to do that, we need to change our information so that it's in resonance with what we're trying to attract, create a kind of energetic agreement. Well, let's talk about this term resonance for a bit because it's a really important concept, and I fully want you to understand what I mean when I say resonance. I hardly ever go to the dictionary for defining terms related to the law of attraction, but I wanted at least a starting place with resonance, or what it means to resonate. I wasn't sure if I was going to find a definition that would help me communicate what I mean, but in my search, I found this definition of the word resistance as it relates to electronics, and that is to reinforce oscillations because the natural frequency of the device is the same as the frequency of the source. So cutting right to it, here's one interpretation that I think is interestingly applicable to the law of attraction, but still not perhaps the definition I want to convey. But let's look at the law of attraction implications. So to reinforce oscillations could be easily interpreted as make your vibration stronger. Okay? Then because the natural frequency of the device, and let's just play with me on this one, and let's say that the device is you in this case, is the same as the frequency of the source. And let's say the source is the universe. The vibration you have gets stronger because it finds its vibrational match in the universe. If you stay in a negative emotion most of the time, for whatever your reasons are, that feeling only gets stronger because your vibration is finding matches from literally all over the universe. And this is why it's key to find a place of passion that you can always return to when things start to look like they're going in a direction you don't want them to go, so that you can change that frequency and let the oscillations reinforce that positive vibration or frequency. I just thought that was a very interesting definition when I saw that. But let's look at resonance in another way. And so let's think about music. When you hear music that affects you emotionally in a positive way, you can actually feel it. The way that the various vibrations that are the music, you're hearing them, they're interacting with your own personal vibration, and it causes a good feeling. Now, all you're doing is interacting with energy through sound, and your entire energy system responds. You are resonating with the music. The energies just want to be together, and when they are, good feelings are the result. Now, conversely, if you were to hear a style of music that you do not enjoy, that makes you just want to turn it off, then the vibration of this music does not resonate with you, and you want to remove it from your space. The energies do not want to be together. Now look, I'm not trying to say that resonance is about good or bad feelings. You can resonate with both pleasant and unpleasant situations, but the emotional impact is going to be different, and what you choose to do with that response is what's the most important. In our music example, that music you didn't like, well, it got to your ears somehow. At least at some level, you were in resonance with it, being in a place where hearing that kind of music is possible. You were in resonance with the situation. But once the music is a part of your experience, you generally make a choice to turn off the music, leave the room, or in some other way remove that music from your experience because it's making you feel unpleasant. Now, as you make this decision to remove the noise from your experience,